Well, I spent my whole life baking. I started with my mom when I was young. And then I got an office job and I started baking for everyone's birthday. I would go around and I would ask them, I'm like, what do you want? So I baked Milo Haas for my friend Manuela. I did a cheesecake bar. I did a bourbon cake. I did literally everything. And that was when I really started taking baking seriously. That was like 2021 ish.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
And welcome to the Tiberius Show today. And I'm your host, Tiberius Boy. And as always, we're looking at various jobs and how they affect the world around us. And today's guest is going to be a pastry chef for Hard Rock Hotel and a dessert business owner. Well, do I have any idea what a pastry chef does? I mean, I got a funny feeling that we're just going to bake our way to figure it out. But you know what? Let me just introduce our next guest. The one, the only, the amazing Haley Martin!
Hello.
Well, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Okay, so you are listed as a pastry chef. So for my listeners that have absolutely no idea, what exactly are pastries?
Oh boy. So pastries are a range of things. So they can be everything from what the French would call viennoiserie, so that is a croissant, all the way to a fancy cake or a gâteau, which is a tiny dessert.
So, Haley, so those are like cakes and sweets. So do you get to like design the way that you want them, or do you like have to follow like a recipe?
Thankfully, I get to do both. At the Hard Rock, I follow lots of recipes. We have standards to follow, but I also get to create desserts there. I've been there a year and created 8 so far. Just got the last one approved yesterday. And then when I do my business, everything is my recipe. So it's just a big science experiment, and that's what I love most about it.
So at what point did you decide, yeah, pastry chef is the job for me?
Well, I spent my whole life baking. I started with my mom when I was young. And then I got an office job and I started baking for everyone's birthday. I would go around and I would ask them, I'm like, what do you want? So I baked Milo Haas for my friend Manuela. I did a cheesecake bar. I did a bourbon cake. I did literally everything. And that was when I really started taking baking seriously. That was like 2021 ish. I went back to school for business. And as I honed my skills, I knew I wanted to build a business. And so in 23, I did open my business, Azucar Desserts.
So I'm sorry, you said a bourbon cake?
Oh, yeah. I
That's a
specialize in
thing?
unique flavor combinations.
That's a thing?
Yes.
Huh.
And bourbon cookies. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay,
Mhm.
so you also have your own business called Azucar Desserts. That's a very interesting name. How did you come up with it?
It is sugar in Spanish, and everything that I make is sugar.
Okay. So, what was that like spark that made you like shift from a desk job to like a hot kitchen?
So I needed a creative outlet, and desk jobs do not typically offer a creative outlet in the way that I need. Maybe for some they do. But I really needed that something that allowed me to tinker, have my hands on. I have trouble sitting still. So being in a kitchen is perfect for me. I'm always moving and thinking and trying to do other things. So being on my feet all day is something that works really well for me.
So, what was the first dessert that you felt that you truly mastered?
Cookies, for sure. Hands down. It's something, like I said, I grew up baking with my mom, and it's the easiest thing to tinker with. So you can literally make a cookie for anything. I use ube, I've used jalapeno, uh, anything that you want to put in a cookie, you can put in a cookie.
Jalapeno would be spicy.
I,
I can't
I
handle
when I put
spicy.
chicken When I competed in Dessert Wars, I fed the judges my jalapeno strawberry thumbprint, and I got 15th place. So,
Okay. Okay. So,
yeah.
what kitchen tool or like gadget can you not live without when you're designing something special?
Oh, I need my mixer. I would be a sad, sad lady if I had to mix everything by hand. I would be jacked though, but I need my mixer. Don't take it from me. I have two.
Okay. So, what is the most unexpected flavor combination that you created and that worked? That it wasn't like bad.
Probably the jalapeno strawberry thumbprint, honestly, because that was just it's earthy jalapeno. It's not spicy. It's got sweet from the strawberry jam, but I've also done like ube and pretzel chocolate chip, a bourbon butterscotch and molasses. Those are my magic molasses cookies. Uh, really, any flavors you can think of, you can put them together.
Okay. So, what's your favorite dessert to make? Not eat, but make.
Probably tiramisu. It's a pain, but it's fun.
What is tiramisu?
Tiramisu is an Italian dessert. It has cheese, coffee, and liquor. It literally has all of the best things you could ever want in life.
Okay, that makes more sense now. I didn't know what it was.
You
Probably because it
soak
still has
lady
something with liquor
fingers,
in it.
and then you soak the lady fingers in a liquor and a coffee substance. It's chef's kiss.
That makes sense. So, what part of being a pastry chef do you enjoy the most?
Probably the science aspect of it. You really just get to see how different things interact because if you're doing like a mirror glaze, the heat, how high you heat it, what temperature you're using to glaze it, what you're actually glazing, if it's cold, if it's not cold, all of those things matter. And it really is a giant experiment. So every aspect of it is fun in that regard.
So, like, what qualifies you to, distinguish some good pastry chefs or like from great ones?
Attention to detail for sure. If you truly want to put out a good product, those fine details matter. And the higher up you go and the higher end those become, um, they often become more minimalistic. And that requires a greater attention to the details because there's not a lot to look at. It has to be perfect and it has to be fine tuned.
So, what's the best part about working in the food and beverage industry?
It's wild. I mean, there's never a dull moment. You're always having to like you're always running out of something. You're always, something's happening in the kitchen. You don't have this tool, you don't have that tool. This thing didn't get ordered or you're waiting for it to come in, so you're constantly troubleshooting and trying to find a workaround. I mean, or you're going to have to buy that thing and wait for it. It's fun. It's just exciting and I need that kind of what's going to happen next.
So, did you bring like any pastries to show us?
I was bad and did not. I have pictures if you'd like
Okay.
that. I am a terrible human, I know. I
It's
didn't
okay,
bring.
it's okay. But like, how come you didn't like teleport it into my studio? Like,
I'm trying. Here. Did it happen? Is there anything here?
no, I
No?
don't think it worked.
So, this is a
Oh
wedding cake
wow.
that I actually did recently.
Is that three-layered cake?
It is, yeah. And that has a whole structure in it. So
Oh
when you're
wow.
building a cake like that, that has like essentially like building blocks. So like a building, it would have rebar. This has plastic pieces essentially, but you have to make sure that that structure is in there so the cake doesn't collapse in on itself. The tallest cake I made was probably a 40 layer cake, and that was so fun. Um,
I'm sorry, what? A
yeah, I did
40-layer cake.
Yeah, a 40 layer cake. And that was terrifying. I don't think I've driven that slowly ever in my life.
What, was it like a wedding cake or something?
No, it was actually for my friend's 40th birthday party. I'll see if I can find it. And yeah, I was really petty about it because I knew he would count too. I was like, I will make this 40 layers because I know you will count them. So that was the cake.
Oh
And it was
wow.
And those are the layers. Oh, wrong
That's
way.
crazy. What?
Yeah, yeah. It was so much fun.
Wow.
But yeah, I've never driven that slowly in my life. Will never
That's
drive that slowly again.
that makes sense. Okay, so what is one thing you think kids should know about doing the work that you do?
Oh man, I feel like it can seem scary, especially because that fine detail work can mean that you're not going to be able to start. I don't want to say tomorrow, you can start every day, but you're going to have a lot of failing. You're going to make cakes that are ugly to get to making cakes that are pretty. The amount of ugly things I have made in my life are as many, so many. The very first like cake that I remember making, I was probably a little older than you actually, and I brought it in for a class. We were watching Hoop Dreams in our anthropology class, and I made a basketball cake, and it was the ugliest cake you've ever seen in your life. And it was box cake. It was bad all around. But you know what? I felt good about it. We ate it, we had fun, and ultimately food is about connection for me, and that's what I love most about it. Is you're connecting with people, and it's an ugly cake or it's a pretty cake. Either way, you're going to eat it.
Now, here seems like a good time to take a quick commercial break. Let's hear it from our sponsors.
So you want to make an ad for your company, right?
Yeah, Tiberius, you want to help me?
Okay, so what's the name of the company?
PPWND.
PP what?
Professional Pressure Washing and Detailing.
So you like clean driveways?
Yeah, like that. We pressure wash commercial buildings and semi-truck and trailers.
So how would someone get a hold of you?
They can visit my site at ppwnd.com or call me at 407-900-7793.
So I just tell them to call you at 407-900-7793 or visit ppwnd.com?
Yeah, Tiberius, you got it.
Cut. That's a wrap. Just use that.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
And we are back here talking with Haley Martin, owner of Azucar Desserts. Okay, so Haley, how long does it take to design a new dessert?
For me, it really depends. How fast inspiration strikes you. When I find inspiration, though, it usually lives in my head rent free until I can literally make it happen in the real world. So anywhere from a few hours if it's simple, if it's like a cookie, or maybe a few days if I have to actually make it at work. But it just depends. Like the jalapeno strawberry thumbprints, I was in Trader Joe's and saw some biscuits that were jalapeno and strawberry and was like, I can flip that. And I did.
Okay, so you got a master's in food science. How does that degree give your business an edge up on the competition?
So that really helps because you're going to know how things are going to work together, what textures you might be able to push the boundaries with. I'm about halfway through my degree right now. My ultimate goal with my career is to get into research and development in pastry. I really love the product development aspect of what I do, and so that's my ultimate track, is to be doing that.
Now, here's a tough one. When making a new dessert, what's more important, how it looks or how it tastes?
How it tastes. I mean, if it tastes like crap, you're not going to want to eat it regardless. But I mean, I want it to look pretty. But I always say my desserts taste better than they look, but they always look beautiful.
So, now running a business while working at Hard Rock Hotel has to be time consuming. How do you juggle both, jobs without falling behind?
You just do it. You make the time. If you care about something, you do it. It's like a relationship, if you want to, you will, and you understand that you have to set aside certain time for it. So if I have a cake order, say this week I had a wedding cake, you bake the cakes one day. and then you build the cake the next day, and then the day after that you're doing the decorating, and then the next day you deliver it. It's not a one day like bam it's done. Like it takes a lot of time, and by breaking it up like that, that is how you're going to set yourself up for success, and it's how you're ultimately going to still be able to get other things in your life done, because there are other things in your life that need attention too.
So, what do you think that you'll be doing in 5 years?
Probably research and development. I'm already kind of working my way towards that right now. I'm applying for different roles and looking for that, but it's a very specific role, so I'm not in a rush. I'm waiting for the right thing.
So, what's the biggest thing you learned in school that you still use today?
Mhm. Probably like baking temperatures. Temperature is important, but texture is as well. The sensory analysis aspect of things really is something that a lot of people don't necessarily think about or can express, but it's a huge part of whether you like something or not. You know, like if you don't like the crunch of like, I'm trying to think, like fluotine, which is kind of like uh, what cereal is it? Trying to think, like Frosted Flakes. It's like thinner Frosted Flakes. So if you don't like that really, really crunchy material, then you're not going to like it if it's in a dessert. Or if you don't like, jelly, or jello, you're not going to like certain desserts because certain things have more gelatin in it. So people may not be able to name that, but those are important aspects of when you're trying to build a dessert, you're thinking about.
So, what trends in the dessert world do you find most exciting now?
I really like Asian flavors, and they're not super popular here. So you can find them a lot of times on Instagram. I read a lot of industry specific trends. So I read Pastry Arts Magazine, which is a really great resource because they give you tips and tricks from other chefs as well as the actual recipes. So if you didn't know where to start, that's a really great way to say, hey, like I can look at these entremets or gâteaux or tiny desserts and actually learn how to do it. Or how do I troubleshoot my bread, stuff like that. And they also have a podcast that, it's helpful. Any tool that you can use to further your craft is what you should do.
So, Haley, what's the most misunderstood part about your work?
People think it happens easily, and it does not. We make it look easy because we do it so much. It's muscle memory. It's something that we love doing. But I would love to see a noob glaze, like mirror glaze something, and then watch them cry.
So,
That's
who
probably
can you
terrible.
say was the person that helped drive your passion the most?
Oh, probably my mom. Between my mom, because I grew up baking with her, and my coworkers that I baked for, like I did their birthdays and everything. I actually ended up doing their wedding cake a few weeks ago. So they've seen my trajectory. They've supported my business all the way through. And so between my group of friends here in Florida and my mom, that they have been integral to me being where I am now.
So, what's the best advice that you've ever received, and who gave you that advice?
I would say for my role at the Hard Rock, it's you need to make desserts that everyone can make. Because if you want them to get approved, you need to make sure everyone can make them. So that requires you to, make them accessible.
Okay, so you have a social media for your business, right?
Indeed.
Okay, so how do you make your social media fun and engaging for your younger audiences? I'm like, what kind of posts work best?
Well, I do try to do the trends. So, obviously when Five Nights at Freddy's was trending, I made a Five Nights at Freddy's cake. I've done an Art the Clown cake. I've done Paw Patrol. I know that's really young, but you got to reach all the audiences here. um, but I mean, even on TikTok, it's really about diversifying. I try to be everywhere, but you can't be everywhere, so you just have to do what you can. Social media is hard. It's a whole job in and of itself. I'm sure you know.
So, what was the most fun thing that you can say on a kid show that you've ever done while doing your work?
Dessert Wars, hands down. I mean, it was the most insane day. I had to bake 500 samples and then I had to hand them out. And then I had to be judged like by the people and by judges. And I swear that that 8 hour day went by in 2 seconds. It was so much fun. It was so much pressure. It was so just exciting. And I felt so proud at the end. Even though I didn't get first place, like I didn't even care. Just being there was amazing. And placing 15th and 22nd, placing it all out of 60 people. And it was my first year in business and I was by myself. So,
That's what kids need to realize about sports. You made it. Be happy.
exactly. Like you have to start somewhere and ultimately like that first batch of cookies, that first ugly basketball cake, like you're not going to start out and be building a 6-tier wedding cake.
Yeah.
It's those little moments that eventually build up to create your empire.
Wait, there's tears? It sounds like
Oh,
a game right now.
oh, oh yes. And they can
Okay.
all be different flavors.
Okay. So, why would a kid listening today want to grow up and do your job?
Why wouldn't you? It's so much fun. It's like a science experiment every day. You get to run around a kitchen and be a little unhinged sometimes, and sometimes you get to be serious and you have to take feedback from your chef and yeah, that's fine and all. But ultimately, like when you have a really great kitchen team and they have your back and you have theirs and you get to make all these crazy cool desserts and you get to learn about new things and learn about new trends, it is a really fun job and it's my passion. I absolutely love it. I go into work every day at 5 in the morning and I am happy to be there, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed most of the time.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break to pay some bills.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius!
sent you.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And we're back here with Haley Martin, pastry chef and artist. So, Haley, what are some of the skills a teen should be working on to be able to be a good pastry chef?
So you definitely need to be able to read. Reading instructions is paramount. It's going to be hard because there are certain recipes where you read it and it's not intuitive. A lot of it is just doing it. Like, just do it. Just jump right in there. The first time you make marshmallow, it's probably going to turn out bad. The first time you make a meringue, probably going to be weird. But the more you do it and the more you see the consistency and the more you understand what's happening chemically, it will become like second nature. You'll be able to just look at it and go, yep, that's right, or nope, that's wrong. I forgot to add this, or I didn't add enough of that. Like just doing it and flexing that muscle is what's going to really help you the most. And then probably second to that is being able to listen. So if you have a chef, you're going to have to listen to chef regardless. Like it's like a parent, your chef tells you this, you go, yes, chef.
So, how does baking pastries and cakes make the world a better place?
Food brings us all together. It really transcends time. It's part of the human experience since we were living in caves sharing a thigh bone. It it's really something that I truly love, from getting to do my friend's wedding cake and seeing their love grow and knowing that like I got to be part of that and they're part of my growth journey as a business owner and as their friend. It it really makes food special, and whether that is a meal or it's a cake or whatever it is, it can be a peace offering, an offering of love. It To me, it's very meaningful. Food's a meaningful experience.
So, what was that one thing that happened in your career that you just did not expect?
Well, I got laid off from my last office job, and that's actually why I started my business, was because I was at a point where I felt like my product was good enough, but also it was a now or never moment. I'm like, okay, well, I was laid off from this office job. I don't want to do that anymore. And when I started my business lawyer was like, well, if you want to be in the food industry, he's like, you should also work in a restaurant. So I went and I started as a server because I was initially thinking about opening like a dessert bar, and instead went to backup house. So I have my business, and obviously I work at the Hard Rock. So those things just, that was my path. And it was hard because I started at the bottom, and the pay was not great to start with. But
Yeah.
if you're not doing something you love, then you're not going to be happy no matter how much it pays you. So
So, do you think AI has a positive role in improving your industry, or do you think it will like cost people jobs?
it'd be hard to cost people jobs in the short term. I mean, perhaps in the long term, if robots got really, really good, they might be able to code that. But this is a job that requires such a high level of skill and intricacy. I don't see it being replaced uh, probably in the next 10, 15 years. It's probably a pretty safe job to go towards. Um, I would say that it helps in a lot of ways. I use ChatGPT to scale recipes a lot, to think about flavor profiles and textures and different things I may not have thought of. Um, I don't use it a lot for image creation personally. I usually have an idea already of what I want things to look like, but you can use it for that for sure. I think it's a valuable tool, like anything else. You can use a hammer to build a house or tear one down. So it's how you use the tool.
So, if a kid watching right now wanted to get into pastries, what's the first step they should look into?
So I would say if your parents are okay with it, start in your own kitchen. There's so many YouTube videos that you can start with. You can read a lot, but really like doing it is the best thing. So making that first batch of chocolate chip cookies or making that box cake. I started with box cake. There's nothing wrong with starting with that because it gets you a feel for what you're going to look out for. Like the first time you put together a cake, it's probably not going to be great. Like learning how you're not going to frost a cake right out of the oven. If you frosted a cake right out of the oven, the buttercream's going to melt off. But do you know how long it took me to learn that? So it's just those funny little failing moments where you're like, maybe I should wait for it to cool down before I put butter on it.
Yeah.
Like, so doing it. There's classes you can take. I know that there's a place downtown, at least in Tampa, that offers classes to kids. You can Google that, but ultimately, your own kitchen is the best place to start.
So, if you could pick any person that you would cook for or team you wanted to work with, like, what would it be?
Um, Probably the crumble team, honestly. If I could do R&D for them, that'd be really, really cool because cookies are just my jam. I love doing cookies. They are amazing. They come up with something, it seems like every day. But if I had to cook for someone, ooh, that would be so difficult. I don't even know. I can't even name that. Probably like a celebrity that I like, not even like a cook or anything. I just want to make a cake for like Keira Knightley or like Andrew Scott or something, or Florence and the Machine. If I could make Florence and the Machine a cake for her album, I'd be there.
So Haley, on your off time, what are some of your favorite things to do for fun?
I do a lot of yoga. I work out. I hang out with my son. I know school's not a hobby, but it is something I have to do and fit that in there. But I know it's probably cliche, but baking, I mean, I still do that in my time off. It lives rent free in my head 24/7. Recipes and things I want to try, and it really is my passion, and it sounds kind of lame, but it's what I want to do and it's what I love doing. So even when I'm tired and I'm like, oh, I want to try this recipe, I usually do. I tried like an Earl Grey recipe. I made an Earl Grey sugar cookie, and I was like, I just want to see if this will work, and it did. But I don't know, reading, I'm trying to learn Spanish. So there's always something. Thrifting, antiquing. I collect antiques. So
So, do you play any video games?
no, I do. Yeah. Well,
What's your favorite
I
one?
have the first thing I bought when I bought my gaming laptop was Oblivion. I literally went to Steam and was like, "We're downloading Oblivion right now." Whenever I get bored, I'm just like, "We'll play some Oblivion, like a couple hours here, a couple hours there." Um, but Call of Duty was the main one back in the day.
So, what was the biggest mistake that you've ever made in life or work, and how did it change you as a person?
That's a really good question. Um, hmm. I feel like framing things as a mistake can be not always great, because I feel like some things are meant to happen that way and they're lessons that you're meant to learn. But I mean, I mess up, I make mistakes all the time when you bake. It's just something that you have to kind of work with and work around and understand why. I mean, I've messed up orders and had to restart them.
Oh yeah.
Like you're like, this isn't the right formula. I missed something, like I forgot to put sugar in it. I wasn't watching. Like it happens to all of us, even Gordon Ramsay. It would happen to Gordon Ramsay, I guarantee you.
Okay, okay. Now, can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid's show. But that one story, well, that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on, you can tell me.
I'm not supposed to tell the children.
I
Um,
won't tell anyone.
uh, oh man. Well, I made a Barbenheimer cake, and that was kind of controversial. People on the internet like felt ways about it because it had a cotton candy nuke bomb on top, and it had the Barbie playset, and people were like big mad about it. I loved it,
That's
but
actually
it was
funny.
divisive. Like people were, political, and it was a whole thing. I was like, guys, it's just a cake.
Guys, it's a cake.
I just wanted a fun cake.
Okay, so is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you or what you do?
If you want to be a pastry chef or you're just interested in being in the kitchen at all, I would just get in your own kitchen and start exploring. That's the most fun part. And if you are interested and you have more questions, you can always, reach out to me either through Instagram or what have you. And I'm happy to answer more questions. But I mean, ultimately, just go for it. There's never a bad day to start. The sooner that you start, the better. And that sounds, again, cliche, but I've been in business 3 years now, and it feels like a week. Like you look back and you're like, oh, wow, it's 3 years, and soon it'll be five, soon it'll be 10. And the sooner you start, the happier you will be for it.
Okay, so do you have a Facebook or a website for my listeners who want to follow you?
I have everything. It feels like I've got a website. It's azucardesserts.com. I'm at Azucar Desserts Florida on Instagram and Facebook. I'm on the TikTok occasionally. Have some videos on there. um, and then, yeah.
So what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
Ooh. Probably like, what's my favorite thing to eat? We
What's your
avoid
favorite
it
thing to
eating.
eat other than your own pastries?
Um, I actually like salty things. I don't like sweets. Plot twist.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you, Haley, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
course.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
And now it's time for Math Corners. Thank you so much, Haley, for helping me with Math Corners. This week, we're just going to the bird problems. As always, my dad is always going to find new problems for me to solve. And today, we're going to talk about a catering for a wedding. Okay? So, I think you might be good at this one, okay, Haley? Okay? So, Susan's a pastry chef. Well, Susan's a pastry chef and is tasked with making a lot of cupcakes for a wedding. It's not a cake, but it's some cupcakes. Okay? So, she makes per signature cupcakes in batches of 24. So, each batch requested a total of 3 cups of sugar. So, the clients wanted 180 cupcakes for the big day. It's a whole lot of cupcakes, man. How much sugar does Susie need to order to have enough to make the required batches?
Is this me now? I'm doing the math.
No. It's okay. I got it. Well, this is a real-world problem because, pastry chefs like you do need to know how much things cost, and some even use calculus, which I think is really funny. So first, you have to figure out how many batches she has to make. So with 180 cupcakes requested and 24 per batch, you have to divide 180 by 24, which equals about 7.5. But you can't just do half a batch, so you have to round it up to 8 and then eat half of it. Now, you have to times that by 3 cups of sugar per batch. So now 3 times 8 is like 24 cups of sugar. So now you have the answer.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, Haley, do you have to figure out the amount of sugar to buy? And don't you think in real life it would be a lot more sugar?
It would depend on the recipe, depend on the cupcake. I know that's a very baker answer. It just depends. But yeah, no, it requires a lot of sugar. And again, it's why I named my business Azucar Desserts, because everything is sugar. And that's why we love it so much, because biologically we want sugar.
Yeah. So my teacher said that I would use math every single day. How do you use math with your work?
Every day. Whether it be for temperature conversion, whether it be for, like you said, sugar conversion, how much sugar, how much flour, do I need a gram of this, a gram of that? Every single interaction in a kitchen is all math. And it is the only math I can do. Please do not ask me to do trigonometry.
Well, thank you so much, Haley, for your help with Math Corners. And now it's time for the Heart of a Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the Heart of a Lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. So this week, we're going to talk about nobility. For me, I think nobility is remembering that we are God's special possessions and acting in a noble way, showing courage and honor. Qualities of nobility are goodness, virtue, honor, generosity, selflessness. So, last week I was at BJ's and talked to the guy that cuts meat. The guy who's always at the deli who's just cutting the meat every single time that you say so. Well, he says that he has to throw away almost 2 garbage cans full of wasted meat every day. That's a lot of meat. But he tries to save some for the best meat for the homeless people that are down the street from the store. This is very selfless and noble. He's risking his job so that he can do the right thing to help others. I think that's just really nice. So, Haley, do you have an example of nobility that you saw this week?
I feel like when I see my coworker struggling, being able to offer the generosity of like a helping hand You know, like, hey, do you need help? Is there anything I can do for you? And in a kitchen, there probably is. There's always something that could go wrong. I know one of the girls in the kitchen, her mom passed, and it was like, how can I support you? You know, like, working after that is hard. So it's like, I know that you're not going to be, your whole heart isn't going to be here. So it's like, what can we do as a group to make that easier? You know, even if it's just like, I can go get something for you, or I can, sit with you at lunch.
Yeah. So, Haley, of all the Heart of the Lion virtues, which is the one that you see the most?
I feel like leadership for me is what I resonate with a lot. And that's probably because, like, I have started my own business, and I just blaze my own trail. I moved far away from home. I grew up in New Hampshire, and now I live in Florida. I've lived all over the US, and I just, you just do it. You take a leap of faith and you go.
So, I think that we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do.
Great.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Haley Martin for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking to you today. I think we learned a lot about your work as a pastry chef.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
And do you mind giving your social media and website again for people who want to try your pastries?
Of course. It's Azucar Desserts. That's the website. And then Azucar Desserts Florida on Instagram and Twitter. And oh.
Go ahead.
And that's where you can find me. I'm in Tampa, but I also deliver to St. Pete and the surrounding areas.
So why didn't I get any pastries? I'm in
Maybe
that
you
area.
will. Maybe I'll be sending you some.
Okay.
What do you
okay.
want?
Okay. Well,
What's your
also,
favorite cookie? Curious.
well, maybe we can find out later, okay? But also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show, and I would like to thank WWPR 1490M, KNC98, Soul Radio 24/7, EasyWay TV, and all the other stations that air my show. And please be sure to visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And Haley, are you subscribed yet?
I'm going to right now.
Okay. Well, this week, Jan Geisler 342 says, I really needed this show today. And Jeremy Thigpen says, imagine going to school with this kid. Well, Jeremy Thigpen, I know you. I did go to school with you. And I want to thank you so much for your support, and really glad we got to share some classes. And be sure to leave me a comment, even if you are from my old school. And be sure to leave a comment, and I might even mention yours at the end of the show, okay? And also, be sure to listen to us next week on the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy. And that's a wrap.